Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition on your favorite show, which is Talk of the Town. This is your host, Monty. We're here in Fort Lauderdale. As Mother Teresa wisely said, that if you cannot feed 100 people, at least feed one. Philanthropy is a gift to mankind, and there are very few people in this world who are blessed and gifted with this gesture, with this great God gift of giving to our people. And we are sitting with one of them. That's Dr. Pallavi Patel. Dr. Patel, thank you so much for joining us on Be For You.
Thank you for having me.
You've had a beautiful journey with Dr. Kiran Patel. I know this show, and because of a time constraint, we wouldn't be able to go through that entire beautiful journey in one episode. I think we'll need multiple and lots of episodes to overcome that journey. But a few highlights of your ecstatic journey that you can share with us.
We had a white coat ceremony for Nova University. We met with them formally only 100 days ago. And together we decided that we'd like to affiliate our vision and our projects, and therefore have Dr. Kiran Patel's name on the Florida, their osteopathic medical school. And here we are today, formally announcing
Transformation.
The transformation, yes. So that's amazing journey we had.
Well, I could say that this could be just one of those. And you know, going back in time, that I would like to share with the audience. A lot of people who know you, a lot of people who don't know you. You know, you've gone to medical school in Ahmedabad, and then you came to the U.S. You met Dr. Patel in Ahmedabad. You went to Columbia University.
Yes, we have a wonderful journey, like a storybook. I was born.
We would love to know that storybook. See, that's what we're all about.
Yes. So I was born and raised in Ahmedabad, and I was very fortunate to go to a nice school, Sharda Mandir, and from there I went on to going into the medical school. My husband, or Dr. Kiran Patel, or Dr. K, that people call him fondly.
That's what they call him, Dr.
Yeah,
K.
Dr. K. So he was born in Zambia, Africa, and he spent his childhood up to the age of 16. Then he did his A-level and O-level with the Cambridge University.
In UK?
Yes.
Right.
And after that, his father decided to send him to India for medical education.
Very nice.
And followed by his younger brothers also, who all came to Ahmedabad for their further education. So we met in medical school, first year of our first MBBS. Him being such a dynamic,
great
tall,
personality from
strong,
UK.
yes, leader and visionary guy. And I'm a nice girl from Ahmedabad, dancing, singing, and easygoing, enjoying my life. Was really impressed with this dynamic person coming from Africa and wanting to be a class representative in the first week of the school. Where
Wonderful. So he was a leader. He was a born leader.
He was always a leader. There are 80% of the kids are local, and he thinks that he can be the elected class representative of that class. Amazingly, he did that. So from that time, we became best friends. We did our medical.
So it wasn't love at first sight?
Well, kind of. It
Attraction at first
We were
sight.
still trying to figure out who was looking at who. It is amazing. I was doing my Garba practice with a bunch of ladies, and usually, as usual, the guys were watching the practice.
Right.
And every time I do my turn for one of the steps, he was looking at me.
Yeah, but you were looking at him too, because you.
So next thing I'm trying to figure out, is he still looking?
All right.
So during this time, his friend says, "Do you notice that that girl is staring at you?" And he says, "No, really?" So he started looking more. So we still are trying to figure out. So it was amazing, and we became a pair.
Wonderful.
So that's how the journey began. And after we finished our medical school, we came to Zambia after we got married.
Oh, you went back to Zambia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You didn't come straight to New York?
No. First we came to Zambia. His parents and the family was still living there. did 1 year of our residency to match the requirement, and we started private practice. And before we know it, we had more than one practice, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the way Kiran always does it. He never sits in one location or one business.
He likes to expand.
He likes to grow really fast and all.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a beautiful start to this great journey. We want to know more, because Gujarat, Zambia, now US, and if I'm not mistaken, my research, you guys were in the tri-state in New York, New Jersey.
Yes.
That's where you guys, and then I want to know the reason why you moved from there to Tampa.
Yes.
Because that was the big move.
Big move, and some destiny, something told us that is where you should go. But
Something was calling.
calling, that was the calling. आवाज आ रही थी वहाँ पे, और वो determined mind, Kiran का determined mind was playing a major role in that.
So his mind was, he was the one who made this decision. Did you
Yes.
have any troubles in like, no Kiran, we're not going to go to Tampa, there's something
But
stopping me?
what was going on was, I was doing my pediatric residency,
Yes.
Kiran was doing his cardiology
Cardiology,
and fellowship
correct.
and everything.
In Columbia.
We were finishing Columbia affiliated.
Affiliated,
Yeah.
okay.
So we were finishing up, and 6 months before that, he saw a ad in the journal, JAMA, a practice for sale. Now also at the same time, we had a property, a motel in Florida, in Tampa, that his brother was in charge of. And we used to come for a vacation. Every break we got, we wanted to get away from that cold and chilly weather. So we came to Tampa. So we were starting to fall in love with Tampa. There was a medical practice for sale in Tampa.
In Tampa.
So Kiran sent a telex, and in 1982 you cannot use a cell phone or email.
Yeah, there was
So
nothing
he
in
said,
that time.
yeah. So he sends a telex, I am interested in buying your practice. And next day he flew to Tampa, made a deal that he could not refuse. So we bought our practice before even we were finishing up our residency and fellowship. And so we were supposed to start that and be there 3 months before we finished. But anyway, we managed, and that was our first medical practice. But within 3 years, as his nature, he started expanding, buying second, third, fourth. At one point, we had 23 locations.
That is amazing.
So that is the business sense or the business mind.
The business acumen, along with that great
medical
knowledge, the medical knowledge that he had,
Yeah.
that great combination which is very rare.
Very rare.
And you did not get that success in New York, New Jersey, but the moment you guys moved to Florida,
Yes.
maybe the Sunshine State was
Yes.
basically the calling.
True, true. And during the time in Tri-State, we were still doing our residency and also.
Right.
That was not an option. But again, there, while we were growing our business empire, so to speak, we also worked really into preserving our Indian culture. Actually, our original plan was that once we are successful up to certain level, we will go back to India because we wanted to raise our children in India. We
And get that same culture
yeah,
back,
we wanted
right.
to instill that culture in our children. But we were so successful. Our life was moving so rapidly.
Right.
We just could not stop and say, okay, this is enough. And again, what happened is we started getting involved more and more in the Indian community, and built a India Cultural Center, ICC. He started first India Festival in Tampa Bay area, which is very popular and successful now into its 28th or 30th year. So a lot of things happened where we could maintain and instill the Indian culture in our children and the whole community. These were some of the wonderful things, and anybody in Tampa Bay area or Florida can talk about this.
Can talk about this.
In
And
Tampa.
at this point of time, do you want to talk about, your hospitals in India, and I know you're very modest and you don't wish to mention it, but I really want our people, because it could be an encouragement, a motivation for a lot of people who are watching us.
I understand. No, I can see it, but we've been presented with a lot of opportunities to do good things. Over the period, he has been president of API, American Association
of Physicians,
Physicians of Indian Origin.
Yes.
And in different capacity on different organizations. But when the earthquake happened in India, 2000, at year 2000, yeah, a lot of hospitals got demolished in Kutch area. So we were instrumental and bringing in funds, getting matching funds, and we were able to revive 4 hospitals there. So that was a great thing, and it's still right now very busy. Those are very busy hospitals, but our hospital in Mutafofoya has been a phenomenal success and one of a kind, because it is first public-private sector project that Gujarat government did back in 1998.
Very good.
So there has been many things that we have been the first to make it happen.
So ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep talking to the Patels. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with the man himself, Dr. Kiran Patel. Stay tuned. Kahin jayega mat. You're watching Be For You. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're watching your favorite show, Talk on the Town, on your favorite channel, that's Be For You Music. Before going into a break, I promised you that I'll be back with a very, very special guest. We are very honored, privileged, and it's absolutely our pleasure to have the one and only, the philanthropist, Dr. Kiran C. Patel on Be For You. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As Mother Teresa wisely said, if you cannot feed 100 people, at least feed one, because that gesture can change lives. Philanthropy is a gift of God to humans, and there are few humans who get the blessing and are able to pass it on to other mankind, and Dr. Patel is one of them. So let's start about this journey. Let's get to know more about you. We do know a lot about you, but there is a major portion of our audience who would like to know a little bit about this beautiful journey of yours.
Fundamentally, like any human beings, my initial focus was to ensure my family is stable and carried out over in a proper way. Fortunately, with 2 of us being doctors, that aspect was never a challenge. Since my early childhood, my father, who has been my role model, I was observing him and seeing that he, when he started in Africa with very little income, very little resources, was able to do a lot of things. So first, I feel that when somebody measures philanthropy only in terms of money, it's not right or it's not fair.
I agree with you.
I believe that money is something that one can create.
Sure.
But time is something that only God can create.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said.
So, to me, anybody that volunteers his or her time is doing a lot for the community and service. So from my early childhood, I had observed my dad that any opportunity, however small, he would not miss to assist somebody in any way he can. And the philosophy I've learned is, at least if you can't do good, do no harm.
Wow. If you can do good, at least don't do no harm. Very
Also, that means in thought, action and deed. Even if you talk about somebody bad, it's not achieving anything, why do it?
That's bad karma.
Yeah. So if you can't say a good word, don't say anything.
Wow.
So moving ahead from that, I have been fortunate because I have always attempted to achieve things that most people will say is not possible. So when I came into Tampa early on, my journey started, and my philosophy of taking care of the patients was not to see what insurance they have.
Okay.
I would take care of any patient that comes to my door. So in the mid-80s, when the HMO came into being, nobody no physicians wanted to see those patients.
Right.
And I was taking care of them. So it resulted in me quickly having over 26 locations where I was catering for these type of patients. Every time, had I been focused on I will only see this patient if he has this type of insurance, I could have never been where I am today.
Absolutely.
So I see it to many people, if you do the right things for right reasons, right result will follow. The other thing is I said, don't chase money because money will chase you. So if you can keep doing what you are supposed to do, then you will be okay. So in Tampa, in the early days, we were able to, I was instrumental in, with the community support, start the India Cultural Center, Hindu temple, Jain temple, you name it. So we started initially with the family to the Indian community. Then I did some things in India, hospitals, because my father wanted one. In Zambia, did an HIV hospice center, paid for several kids to have heart surgery. I can go on, but essentially I was born in Zambia. I am of Indian origin, and I settled in United States, and I had education under the British system.
Absolutely. You went to Cambridge in UK.
No, actually I had a Cambridge University degree, but it was obtained by British educational system in Zambia.
In Zambia. Got it.
So essentially what I say is I am a nomad or a global citizen.
But coming back to the HMO subject, that period, that phase from 82 to 2002, that was basically the turning point of your career, if I could say that, where you could use your business acumen and your medical knowledge. Because there are a lot of doctors in this country. There are a lot of fabulous, talented doctors, but you have a skill. You are blessed with something which people are not. Yeah. You have the business acumen along with medicine, where you sold the HMO to a very good price. If you can share about that period of your life.
I had started my life in Tampa with a practice where my first month's income was $3,000.
First month's income was $3,000, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening.
And then in 2002, when I exited, my monthly income was $100 million.
So from $3,000 to $100 million, a perfect example that anything is possible in this country. You can live your dreams. You need to have a heart and belief.
It was a great journey, true American dream story. I was fortunate enough to enjoy that, and that's when I started to expand my wings of support to the broader community, including the mainstream American projects that include a Pallavi Patel conservatory. Then I started the school, a college of sustainability at University of South Florida.
Was that $12 million or $25 million that you donated?
Yes, I think sticking to numbers I don't like, but
okay.
I was the single largest donor for University of South Florida in its 50-year history at that time. And this time there are only 7 people who have given the size of donation I am giving to University of Nova. So, by putting dollars aside, I think the impact is what I'm talking about. There was a research center, so as you can see, I have 2 types of charities that I call. One is the legacy type of gifts, which are the Performing Arts Center, the colleges, etc., because you know that perpetually they are going to be in existence.
Sure.
Then the others are what I call a sustainable charity. So our philosophy is to have an impactful, sustainable and replicable charities. I usually don't focus on individual people because the need of an individual is so high that it is very difficult for us to fulfill the needs of everybody. The problem is so vast that no government, no individual or corporation can fulfill everybody's needs. So it is better to focus on charities that are going to impact a lot of lives and transform a lot of lives. And that's where I believe that the best gift anybody can give to anybody is education. Because once you're educated, all your doors open and you can transform society.
That's amazing, Dr. Patel. I would like to know a little bit more about your Clear Water project, because that is something which a lot of young students are looking forward to, which is going to happen in 2018, 2019. You're building a orthopedic medical college.
So today, University of Nova has 250 students a year. By expanding the campus in the Clearwater Beach area, which will need an investment of over $200 million.
And you're doing that?
And I am committing to do that. But what it will do is add 150 doctors. Totally now, instead of 250 doctors, we'll be producing 400 doctors a year. And that, if you think about, in 10 years, will produce 4,000 doctors.
Wow.
In 20 years, almost 10,000
doctors.
And you can imagine that when each doctor has a 30 to 50 patient contacts, some people in research, some people in pharmaceutical industry, imagine the type of impact this contribution will give. So it's not the dollar amount, but if you look at the impact of it, you will see that the amount of investment is minuscule compared to the impact it will have on the society and the world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a visionary, that's what you call a living legend. We've heard the names of Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, and also Azim Premji, but we have someone amidst us, Dr. Kiran C. Patel. We'll speak more to him, more about his Wyndham project, more about his expansion into media, his involvement into the hotel industry as well. Stay tuned. Keep watching B4U Doctor. We'll catch you more in a more casual atmosphere tomorrow, and we'll chat more at the beach.
Okay.
Pleasure, sir.